Play From Win have partnered up with the RFL on a community rugby league draw, as John has spoken about. Last year, in the first year we did it, over 130 community rugby league clubs benefited. This year we want to get well over 200. There are people that are in this call that are already part of it and that we are already dealing with to help support with marketing help. However, that's already an ongoing draw. So to give you a little bit about Play From Win, Play From Win was set up just over 2 years ago by 3 friends, all of whom had worked in sport, all of whom had worked at every level from Sunday League to Champions League, and wanted to revolutionise, especially through COVID, the premise of cash draws and turn it into a fully digital fundraising platform. So we've grown the team in the last 2 years, and there are now 14 of us working from both a Manchester head office and remote offices around the country. What we do is we work with clubs, individuals, charities, good causes, to provide them with draws. Now, this can be a cash draw, it can be prize draws, it can be a regular ongoing draw, or it can be a one-off if you have, say, a club anniversary or a particularly big game or something like that. We've worked across many different sports in the last couple of years. Why clubs choose to work with us? My background is sports. I was head of commercial at Oldham Athletic, Tranmere Rovers, commercial manager at Huddersfield Town, but I also sat on the board of Oldham Athletics Community Foundation, and I sit on the board of a North West Counties football club. So kind of get it from all levels, and coming out of COVID, we know how important it is for clubs to raise money. So we decided to make it as simple as we possibly could. And the reasons that clubs use us is that we don't charge anybody any upfront cost. We're fully transparent about our fee. We charge a 15% fee that is deducted at source. For that, you get all the payment processing, all the cash handling, all the licensing and regulation that you could ever need, all the compliance. You get your web page, you get a bespoke web page, you get a full marketing toolkit that James and his team provide that can be tailored and bespoke to your club. We've provided everything from the likes of posters to go up in clubhouses, to table talkers, to hospitality, program advertising. We even took a perimeter board for an FA Cup game last year that was on round 1 on the BBC's television coverage, and people actually scanned it through the TV. So anything like that, we love getting involved with. We're fully licensed, be that through the Gambling Commission, through the Lotteries Commission. So we take care of all that. We essentially try and take all the hassle out of it for clubs, because we're aware that everybody is staffed by volunteers. And the biggest problems that you have in fundraising for clubs and bringing in new products like this is that who's going to do it? Because you're all volunteers, you're all pushed for time, you are all giving more than enough to your clubs as it is without having to administer something else. So part of what we do is to try and make that as easy as possible for you. We will provide things like social media templates, Instagram graphics. We provide this for every club, be it as a one-off draw or as a monthly recurring subscription draw, at no additional cost. We also provide regular reporting. We are very tightly financially regulated. The question that we always get asked, as you are probably all thinking now, is my money safe? Yes, is the short answer. Very, very tightly regulated through financial standards and services. We've worked with clubs at all levels, from Sunday League to Champions League, across different sports. You can see a selection of some of the clubs that we've worked with there, from the likes of Devon Sharks, a rugby league club just outside Newton Abbot, right the way up to Manchester City, who we have regular work with. Next slide, please, Professor James. Many benefits to working with us. You don't pay for the platform for a start. We take care of all licensing and all compliance. We will give you branded marketing toolkits for all your digital needs. And yeah, we don't charge anything up front. And at any point, you can always see where you're up to. We provide regular reporting. Everything we do is fully transparent, with the aim of making it as easy as possible in terms of timescales. If a club was to say, we want to do this, we can have that turnaround set up and ready to go within a week. So no issues on timescales. Let's say we do it for individual events. In terms of rugby league, we have, back in January, we did the Stephen Ratchford testimonial dinner. He had a game against Wigan Warriors, and we did a draw specifically for that game. We also work with Oldham. We did a one-off draw with them in the build-up to the season that will be building up into regular draws as the season goes ahead. So anything, if John mentioned things like fundraising dinners and awards nights for clubs to raise money. If people don't like using cash anymore, which is a genuine concern for some clubs, we can provide that for any of your awards dinners, sporting dinners, anything like that we can provide. James, next slide, please. So on your draw page, we also give additional benefits. So you would go through the draw page to buy a ticket. You can then add in a donation to the club, which can be gift aided through us as well. This is a straight donation, so we don't take cuts of that. Also, we have data opt-ins. So if your club is looking to grow through marketing, we can provide you with all the opted-in data. So if you have 100 subscribers to your draw, we can send you everyone that's opted in. You can get their contact details because they'll be interested in other draws and other club news. What that also allows to do is, John touched upon sponsorship. You can use this data in order to get a draw sponsor, and you're then going directly into subscribers' mailboxes. We can work with you to help get sponsors and to work with you on sponsorship packages for the draw. Be that we have one club that we work with, and one of the prizes they put up every month, they have a cash prize for the winner, and their second prize is that a local restaurant, who is one of their club sponsors, donates a meal for 2 every month. So it's little things like that that are additional experience prizes that don't have to cost the club any money to provide at all, that actually always go down well with supporters. Even little things like a club scarf or a club polo shirt put in each month just attracts people. People don't necessarily do this to win money. Winning money is a great benefit for them, but it is incentivized giving. Also, the way that it's structured through a prize draw, some clubs, certainly clubs with junior sections and community-run clubs, are not allowed to engage with gambling companies. We are very clear that when we run prize draws, we are not a gambling company. This is not covered by the Gambling Commission. Don't get me wrong, for bigger clubs, we can take things like stadium lotteries because we have the gaming licenses, but these draws for your amateur grassroots clubs are not gambling, because having worked with community foundations, any club at any level, your community foundation is not allowed to associate with a gambling company. So we are very strict in that we are not gambling. As best practice, it could be that we allowed 16-year-olds to buy tickets, but we don't. It is 18 plus. That's a decision that we've taken as a company as best practice, rather than going at 16-year-olds. So we reduce the risk at all times of any sort of gambling sort of connotations there. James? Yeah, so essentially we want to work with every club we can possibly work with across all sports and in all areas at all levels. We'll be more than happy to have a conversation about how we could work with you, what we could do for you, and how we could help generate money. We have, in some instances, clubs that run cash lotteries and cash draws, or have existing providers. We have ways of migrating people onto our systems. We can take direct debits. We can migrate in terms of things like that and recurring card payments. We can work with you to revitalize existing draws, add something to them, add a digital element to them. So essentially, we want to help every club raise additional revenue through digital fundraising. So if there's anything that we can help with, I know that our information is being sent out after this with all the webinar details, so that's great. And if anybody does want anything, we will be delighted to help in any way that we can.
Great. Is that the end of the webinar for the guys?
Yeah,
There's not been...
I think we've run out of slides now.
Awesome. Cool. Well, there's not been any questions, so I'll just if anybody has any questions for John, for the guys at Play Fund Win, then now's your chance to ask them. As the guys said, we will be sending the recording of the webinar out. We'll send these slides, and we'll send some contact information for how you can maybe reach out to Play Fund Win and start that conversation. But because I feel like these things that lots of clubs do, but it can always be improved. And I've seen the Play Fund Win system myself, and it is really, really good, and it works. That's the key message there from what I've seen. There's no questions come in so far, so if anybody does have any questions, feel free to reply to the email that you do get with the information about the webinar. But I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today, and I'd like to thank John, James and David as well for joining us and providing some really useful information for everyone. Hopefully you've found it useful, and yeah, long live your fundraising efforts, and hopefully you can really improve and build on what you're already working on. Cool.
Thanks.
All right, well,
See you later.
I'll end it there.
Good evening.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks very much, all. Take care.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.